sophomore in high school, and Mr. Appaluccio in his English class. And he said to me, he said to our whole class, if there was one person in the entire world that you would want to meet, who would that be? And my answer to that was Jerry Lewis. And I guess it was a little plug or a little whisper from God to me that Jerry Lewis and a telethon was really going to be a huge, huge part of my life. I used to always watch the Jerry Lewis telethon on TV. And actually my cousin Donna Albanese, who was in my class and a wonderful Broadway artist. She is phenomenal. So Donna, if you're out there, hello, how are you? I miss you. I hope that you'll be on the telethon next year. I didn't even think to ask you, but it's been so crazy. I've been on a whirlwind,
Donna,
when I was back in high school, Donna actually performed for the telethon, and we went down Atlantic City, and it was really exciting to be a part of that telethon. And that was another little wink from God that telethons are really, really going to be very important in my life. On the telethon trail, let me share a little story with you of how it really did become light to me that I needed to do a telethon. There's a homeowner where I work. Her name is Roberta, and she came to me after hearing my story, and she said to me, Renee, I volunteer at the Adler's Aphasia Center. It's in Maywood, New Jersey. And she said, you really should come and give your testimonials. And this was really, I think it was in the beginning of the Maywood Adler's Aphasia Center. And they were wonderful to me. They were absolutely wonderful to me. And as soon as I went there to do my testimonial and I walked into this warm and loving environment, that it was so humbling to me to be in a place that allowed for, it was like you came into this world that was safe, a safe haven for those of us who have suffered strokes, and we could speak freely with the complications and the difficulties and the fears that we had because we don't know how to talk, when you have aphasia. Aphasia is communication skills that really is affected. But it doesn't affect some of the minds of the people that have aphasia. But in my case, it actually scrambled my minds a little bit. Aphasia is like a stroke. It's really different in every single person. So after I performed and gave my testimonial to the homeowners, not the homeowners, the members at the Aphasia Center, Elaine Adler, who is actually a gift from God to the universe, shared with me her story, and her husband Michael Adler, his story of his stroke, and she actually took me on a tour of the center. I was breathtakingly humbled by the time she took individually with me, and by her confidence in me, and by her passion for aphasia. They were going to make a difference because her husband was a very vibrant, outspoken corporate gentleman who ran, I don't know what industry he was in, but he ran this company that was astounding. And to go from a person that's very vibrant in their lives to someone that suffers a stroke and doesn't have the capacity to communicate with somebody is very, very, very humbling and very difficult for both sides. For the caretaker side, because Elaine loved her husband, and they, she was really, they were partners in life, and her husband was somebody that went to work every day, very vibrant, did what he needed to do, and then all of a sudden he suffered a stroke, and he wasn't able to do that anymore, and she took on the caretaker role. But bigger than that, they took on the caretaker and really make a difference in the world role. So Elaine and Michael Adler, I have to give you kudos and so much thanks. And the reason I bring this up is because as we were walking around the center, I said to her, I said, Elaine, I said, we have to have a telethon. We got to bring some awareness to this. She inspired me so much. So I said, Elaine, we have to have a telethon. And she says, like she's so supportive of everybody and everything, even to this day. Outing that she had at a place in Hackensack, and Laurie Stokes was the mistress of ceremony, and it just lifted us so much. It lifted the roof on that location and on Aphasia. Joy to be there in her presence and in the presence of everyone at the gospel concert. But it was so awesome to be at a place where everybody was being made aware of aphasia. And Elaine and Michael have done astounding, and her whole organization has really done astounding work on bringing awareness to aphasia. So I strongly recommend you look them up on the internet. I believe their website is www.adlersaphasiacenter.org. And if thank me with the Adler's Aphasia Center, Elaine and Michael again for really turning something that could have been and has been a struggle in their life into changing the whole world and really making aphasia awareness really a priority. Because as I've said before, when it's funny how people view you when you can't speak to them, and I've had that experience, and I still have that experience throughout my life. So I have so much I could say on this topic, and I probably took my whole intro to talk about it, but I think it's really, 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 really important to bring up the subject about Adler's Aphasia Center and aphasia in itself. You know, it's one of my passions. Today on the show, we're going to start a spotlight segment. Thank you so much for all you do to come into my life, as well as to let me come into yours. We'll be right back.